This is the Disc Golf. It's the Night Owls Disc Golf Podcast is what it is.
Oh,
So we'll do
Night
this.
Owls.
I'm Shane.
I'm JP.
And I'm Jordan.
So we got a threesome here again.
Oh, boy.
I'll just leave it there.
Jeez, guys.
So, Jordan, on the Friday,
Not a video podcast yet.
we couldn't put that on YouTube anyways. So, Jordan, we didn't get to who you are. Get it? Who?
Oh, I'm part of Team Parliament. I'm an owl.
Yeah, he's an owner of the shop.
Oh, yeah. Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
Slip your mind?
I don't think I own anything, really.
He's just a steward of.
In the United States, do you really own anything, guys? Do you really own anything?
Is this we're doing conspiracies or?
It's not a conspiracy. All right. They own you.
Take it to the man. So, yeah, so Jordan is one of the four owners of the shop. He is disc golf dude galore in Door County. And there's not a person that I played more disc golf with than Jordan, besides myself.
Play a lot with yourself.
I do play a lot of disc golf with myself. God, I have to go there. All right. So that's Jordan. So we didn't get to that Friday. So it is now Monday. I mean, it's still Wednesday, but it's now Monday. So
It's all bleeding together.
yes, it is. All right.
Eating together.
So we're going to talk about how horrible of kids we were. Why not? We just got a good story for Jordan, and hopefully he can recreate the magic again. You can start wherever you want to.
Wait, which one? Skitchin'?
Yeah, Skitchin'. I like that story. It's
Skitchin'?
pretty fun. Because it
So-
involves, yeah.
Well, yeah, Skitchin', I mean, if you don't know, at least this is what we called it. Skitchin' was, we were skateboarding, we grab like the bumper of a car, and you get pulled by the car. So after school, us skaters hung out, and then, yeah, I was leaving. I had to go, and my buddy Rob, he grabbed the bumper of my car, and I saw him in the rearview mirror, whatever. So yeah, I hit the gas, give him some speed. I just pull off. I saw him in the rearview mirror, like take a bad spill, but it was all planned. We all knew what we were doing. There were other skaters around. He's got his other buddies. I was on my way out. I'm gone.
Jordan's like,
And,
peace. Deuces.
It was a normal thing. I mean, some people rode it out. Some people fell. So yeah, like back home later that night, it was like bedtime. It was a school night. I had to get to bed early. Just like go down to bed, and I fall asleep. And all of a sudden, my parents come down and wake me up, and they're like, "You got a phone call." This was like way before cell phones. It was like the landline phone call. If you actually got a call, that meant something. It meant something back then. And I was like waking up. I'm just like, "Wait, what are you guys talking about?" They're like, "Well, yeah, it's the sheriff on the phone, and they want to talk to you." Was anything happen to you today? I'm just like, "No, I don't know. I don't understand why a sheriff is calling me." And yeah, my buddy Rob, I guess when he got home and he's having dinner with his parents and everything, I guess he just kept like blacking out repeatedly and vomiting a lot. And I guess he had to go to the hospital, pretty serious concussion. And they were trying to figure out how this pretty bad concussion, and he had a pretty good gash on his head too. I remember seeing him later. I mean, the next day or a couple days later, he might have stayed home, but yeah. So then he's at the hospital, and then his parents are wondering what happened. Then how did you get hurt so bad? So then they bring in like the police, and it all got back around to me because he's just like, "Yeah, I grabbed my buddy Jordan's bumper, and now the cops are waking me up about this, wondering what's going on." So yeah, that's Skitchin'.
So I didn't know it had a name. So in Florida, we did it with wakeboards.
Okay.
Because we would often get, like, after tropical storms or hurricanes or anything, we would often have flooded roads or flooded ditches. And we would grab wakeboards and wakeboard down the side of roads, or even in flooded roads. We just have one of the buddies that would, have a truck, and then we'd tie a tow rope to it. Didn't matter what it was. We just something we could hang on to the truck with while we were in the ditch. And we'd like wakeboard down the ditches. It was one of the coolest things in the
I
world.
always thought that when I saw flooded ditches. I thought it, but I've never knew anyone did
Yeah.
it.
It is awesome.
Yeah.
You know, and there's some road. Well, back then there were some roads that for miles there would be no ingress or egress to it. Like there would be no egress, so you could just go for hours. But you'd get kind of confident, and then all of a sudden you'd be like, drainage, drainage, and you'd see like a road going over. You know, and you'd be like, stop. So you'd have to let go and bail. But no, no one ever really seriously got hurt doing that.
That's surprising.
Yeah, yeah. It was actually pretty good. I mean, there were some times where you ever get like, you start doing something and you're like, this is really awesome, but it flips that line where you're like, this is really stupid. Like in your mind, like you're not going to give up because all your buddies around you, but you're like, I'm going to get hurt really
You just
bad.
know it's a bad idea.
Right.
You can't be the wuss though.
Yeah, exactly. You just finish your turn and be like, dude, that was awesome. It's your turn.
Oh, I'm so happy I'm alive.
Exactly. It's my turn to drive. So the only other time I did that was at Concordia.
Okay.
And this was the whole Florida boy snow,
Yeah.
talking about skitching, I guess. We did it with a snowboard.
Oh, okay.
Where I would just grab the back, and we did it with snow. It was one of the funnest things I'd ever done in my life. But around the parking lot of Concordia, we would just grab onto the back and a snowboard, and we would just go.
Yeah.
And I thought it was fantastic. I could not snowboard to save my life, but for some reason behind a car, no problem at all.
Yeah.
Like it was no issue at all.
Flat ground.
Flat ground. If I fell, I fell. It wasn't a big deal. But nobody really got seriously hurt on that one either. So yeah, those are fun times. I like those. So
Yeah, we used to do something like that too, or up here when it would snow. Like we had a couple snow days, and so maybe like one or two friends had SUVs at the time, and we'd get out tow rope and then get like an inner tube and like tow behind the car, and so we'd be going at night.
yeah.
We went down roads at night, snow covered roads when we knew we didn't have school the next day. And we would just fly up and down the roads with like holding on to the, and so there's this one time like someone was driving like too fast, took a corner, and you see the inner tube. It started on one side of the road, goes completely across the other side of the road, and flips over, and the people fly into the ditch. And we're like, where did everybody go?
everybody's standing up out of
Yeah,
snow.
yeah, like no idea. We're like, okay, stop. Like someone would jump out of the ditch, like you know, like abominable snowman, like looking like, dude, you guys left me. Like, but those were good times. Like we would even do that like late at night when like we turned 21 and like had been drinking.
He's
Obviously,
throwing up
you
air
were
quotes.
21.
21.
21, yeah.
And these were roads in Mexico. They weren't.
My best takeaway from that for me is like, remember those days, you know, our whole crew and everyone, like one or two of us had an SUV.
Yeah.
Like, find someone that doesn't have an SUV nowadays.
Those, like,
I know it's a different time though.
Yeah.
SUVs weren't that popular. when
No,
we were
they
young.
really weren't.
We're
No.
all old.
No, that was either the old broken down Broncos, not even broken down, but they were like the old school Broncos that were just all clapped out usually.
Yep.
It was like one of the only SUVs, or like the,
The
pristine.
OG Blazer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It like just came out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nobody had one though.
No.
Nope.
Somebody might have had like one of the earliest Jeep Grand Cherokees
Yeah.
that there was like ever, or like a wagon year or something like that.
Yeah, I had a buddy with like a regular Cherokee.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what we rode in winter. Cause
Yeah.
It's like, oh, dude, he's the only one we know with four-wheel drive.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
So also in the winter, I had what was I driving at the time? An Eagle Talon. It's kind of like a Mitsubishi.
that was a hot-
It was
That
like
was a
the
hot
Eclipse.
ride.
It was.
Oh yeah.
That was a hot ride.
So in the winter, I like thought it was like a drift car. So I'd just be like trying to drift. Like,
Was it not?
well, no. I mean, no. Like Fast and Furious at the time, I was like, dude, this movie is sick. I'm gonna get this car, check it out. And so I was driving at night on the way home from a friend's house, and I caught a snowdrift like in the middle of the road. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna drift this out, turn into it. All of a sudden, whoop, 360 in the middle of the road, and I end up in a snowbank. and some people passed me by, and it's like I knew them. I forgot who it was, and they just stared at me like I was like trying to wave them down, and they just passed me by, and I'm like, all right, I guess I got to call my parents to come get me out of this. Like 1 a.m, I'm like, I got in a snowbank. Yeah.
I don't know. There was that time when I was pulling the Volkswagen back from California, and we were just getting into Wisconsin. I think we're down like, I don't know, Madison area or something.
Yeah.
Somewhere in that area, we were kind of taking the back roads from like 41, and there's all those little back roads. We were pulling it with that Xterra, and we had the Volkswagen, that big U-Haul trailer, and just this freak storm out of nowhere, like 4 or 5 inches of snow, and it was just coming down like crazy. And we come up over this hill, and at the bottom of this hill there is a stoplight, and it's red. And I did just like just tap the brakes, went immediately sideways.
Oh,
And this thing was, and this thing was just, it was just pushing me. And I don't know. And, of course, when you're sitting in it and it's happening, everything is so much more exaggerated. So
Yeah.
what I'm saying, maybe about a quarter of the truth, but nevertheless, this is how it looked.
It's
felt
what you
to
were
me.
feeling.
Exactly. So I was able to, I kind of, when the thing started pushing the back end out, it pushed me towards the median. So I was able to get my front wheels up on the median, and then I pulled the whole trailer and everything up onto the median, and was door to door with the guy that was stopped at the stoplight, and I just kind of looked over and waved at him, and he just shook his head. And then the nice thing about it was that I just drove it right off.
my
It was
God.
no
Nice.
issue. I was like,
No problem.
good story. It was nice ending and everything. So.
Volkswagen didn't fall off the trailer.
No Volkswagen fell off the trailer. It was filled with stuff too. It was filled with nostalgia and parts, and my grandfather gave me a bunch of stuff to bring up here. It was all wrapped in trash bags and everything. I mean, the thing was packed with stuff. I shouldn't have been pulling it, but I made it what is that, a 3,000-mile trip?
Oh, jeez.
Something like that, and I made every bit of it. The last 150 miles is where that happened, but yeah, the whole way. So that wasn't part of my childhood issues. But so when I was a kid, we used to fill the back of my buddy's truck up. He had an S10. We used to fill the back of my buddy's truck up with concrete. So in Florida, they have these little concrete pyramids or balls or whatever that line the road from the property, because there's not a lot of curbs in Wisconsin. So, I mean, in Florida, there's not a lot of curbs that divide the roads from the things, at least where we lived. So there was always these, I don't know, they're just little concrete pillars or triangles that you put between the roads so people don't drive onto your grass. So we'd go around and we would steal these. No, this was not in Florida. This was somewhere in Mexico. We'd go around and take these. And then, and we actually started taking them out of our friends' driveways first that would do it. And I won't say what we would throw them at, that we would just go driving down the road.
I think you've hit the statute of limitations by now.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't want to say it, but
I just did this last week.
speaking of, we have the person that would be representing was sitting here with us. But so these containers that are usually next to the road that people put things in, usually on a daily basis, we'd be driving down the road, and these are stupid kid things that we did.
Yeah.
And we would just throw these things out of and we would try to hit these things. And I hate to say it, but it was I would never do it again. I never encourage anybody to do it. But when you would, those things would hit and they would blow up. And if there was stuff inside of them,
Satisfaction, I bet.
they were really cool looking.
I bet that was satisfying.
Reminds me of Dazed
It
and
was so
Confused,
horrible.
where they're going down the road. He's like, throw the bowling ball, and they throw the bowling ball, and it crashes behind in the guy's back window.
So
That was so crazy.
So what movie was it that they did? They hit the mailbox with a baseball bat.
Oh, I've seen that.
Oh, I
I've
know
seen
what
that on
you're
a bunch of
yeah.
stuff.
So I'd
but
like
there
to
is
tell-
something that stands out. Yeah.
So I'd like to tell you, don't do that. So we had a guy that did that, and him and this guy, without getting too detailed, it had happened quite often to this one guy, and this one guy did something to this mail receptacle that strengthened it.
I've heard this. Didn't he fill it with concrete?
Yeah, he filled it with
Oh my
concrete.
God.
Yeah. So the guy filled it with concrete.
Yeah.
And when my buddy came through,
Oh,
he broke his wrist and his arm
Oh man.
because he was trying to hit. So
Yeah.
I won't be so vague. So my buddy was hanging out of the backside of a truck with a mailbox or with a baseball bat, and he was hitting a mailbox. And he'd done it a couple times to this guy. I was with him on this one. When he broke his arm, he broke his wrist and his arm.
guy got wise to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Came up with a plan.
And it was this old aluminum baseball bat. And he hit it and it broke both. I was just like, oh my goodness. It was crazy. And that was the last time I ever did anything like that. I saw that. I was
I
like,
could see why you'd stop.
I'm done.
Yeah, right.
And I only did it every once in a while. There was this one really long road that had like good enough space between houses that you weren't going to hurt anybody or anything like that. But the houses were far enough out of the road, like no one would see you. And we were just idiots. And it was like 2 a.m. and there was nothing else to do. So we were idiots. So anyways, that's what we used to do.
Mailboxes are federal property,
Yes,
technically.
Yes,
they are. That's why I said we have a guy right here. Yeah.
Statute of limitations.
Yeah.
It's been, how old are you? It's been like 60 years since
Yeah.
that happened.
Well, I never personally did any of them. These are all just
Accomplice.
Accomplice, yeah.
I heard that someone did them. So, so that was me. So
Nice.
I did something like that. That was
You guys
stupid.
ever tried jumping the road on your bike?
Bicycle?
Not
Yeah.
the road.
No.
Jumping stuff.
Yeah.
But no, not the road.
Man, I tried to build a ramp one time out of like really janky.
Was it like a cinder block and a piece of plywood sitting on the cinder block, right?
No. But so here's the thing. Like I built a ramp like high, like on a kind of like on a hill, and then I put the ramp part down in like a culvert. So like you'd like go down the hill and like try to go up the ramp and like go across the road, but so I'd like road down. But instead of like hitting the ramp, like you think you'd like go up, like the angle was too much, so you just like hit and like boom, front over, you just go over the tire and just like, yeah,
That hurt, I bet.
yeah. And at the time it's like, hey, helmets, who gives a rip about helmets?
they weren't even a thought.
No, not even a, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I ever wore helmets or pads for anything. The only time I ever wore a helmet was on the BMX track because we had to.
Yeah.
That was it.
I did when I would rollerblade, like when I first started rollerblading a lot, I would wear like protective gear, but then after a while I was like, screw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a kid that lived across the street named Javier that would wear a helmet and knee pads and stuff, and his parents made him. Man, everybody made fun of him.
Yeah.
Everybody.
I don't know anybody that skateboarding, BMXing. I mean, I was huge into skiing, snowboarding buddies, and never saw any protective gear of any kind.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. It's okay, JP.
Yeah.
There's always one in every group.
No, I mean, it's probably smart, but
Right.
Yeah. Oh, I think some of the stuff, because we used to try to hit, like, the gaps were always the big thing on bikes.
Oh, yeah.
Bunny hop gaps
Yep.
and stuff. And so I lived in, like, middle of a concrete jungle, like Miami, when I was really heavy into bicycling. And
now you're just really heavy.
exactly when I was just really heavy. I wasn't that heavy then. Whatever, you guys are buttholes. Buttholes. Like the sandworm I set, it looked like a butthole. That's you. we have a messenger group.
Yeah.
And
JP wasn't in on
So-
that. That's right.
everybody that's here on the messenger group, do you see that on your Android?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So
Messenger's Facebook.
Oh, Facebook. Hello. So on Facebook, there's a setting that's dunes for your messenger groups. And the sandworm, it looks like a butthole. Tell me it doesn't. I mean, it looks exactly like a butthole. As we found out, not like Jordan's butthole. But
That's what I said, yeah.
so anyways, bunny hopping gaps. We were like,
Bunny hopping caps.
hey, someone has to keep us on track here. So we were, I was like, maybe 5 or 6 miles. I mean, because I don't know how far I would ride my bike to places. Like, I ended up forever away from places. But we were in like a strip mall parking lot or something. And there was always between the parking spots, there was always those curbs that you could jump over, and there was always a little island of
Oh, yeah.
grass or rock
Yeah,
or
you
whatever
smash
it
a
was.
shopping cart into with someone in there.
Yeah. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I tried that, and like I was pretty good at that point, like clearing gaps, and I was like, I'm pretty confident. It was like 11 feet. We measured it.
Dang.
It was big.
That's substantial.
And it was slightly downhill. Like it was kind of the next
Okay.
level was a little bit down, maybe like 3 or 4 feet. It wasn't huge, but I was like, yeah, because I can clear like 6-8 foot gaps pretty easily flat. Not easily, but I could do it. And I was like 11 feet, 2.5 foot drop, no problem. So I come like as fast as I possibly can, front tire over it, back tire hits and pops up, blows my back tire. And I go over, and it's funny because my buddy's like, why didn't you just grab the handlebars? You landed it. So I guess I get all the way over, I land it,
Yeah.
but my hands are off the handlebars, and I'm doing like like it's just my forearms that are on the handlebar, just doing like the thing. And I run in. So at the height that I was at, I was just high enough to where my handlebars would slide under a tractor trailer, but everything else did not. I ran right into like face full
Oh,
frontal,
nice.
and then hit that, and somehow I still had enough momentum to like scrape. I mean, I still have like, I don't know if you can see it here, but I still have like all of the skin off of both of my forearms, off my knees, like
Holy cow.
it was so bad, and my face was just jacked up, like broke my tooth, like big cuts all over my face. It was bad. So yeah, so that was that one. We'd go around doing that. And then in that same shopping mall, we did that, and this was my friend that did this one. It wasn't me. Cleared one, kind of got goofy, bailed off the bike. The bike got ghost rode into a karate gym. He broke the front window of a dojo.
Were there people in it?
Dude was pissed. Yeah, the sensei was in there. He was pissed. He was pissed. And of course, we all booked it. Like
Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
else that was with him was gone. And he's there with this sensei like yelling at him, and we're like, we're out. Like, we're gone.
And he couldn't ditch his bike.
He couldn't ditch it because his bike was in the dojo.
It's like, do I just leave the bike?
Oh, man.
We saw him the next day in school, and he was mad at us. He was so bad. He's like, I would have jumped on your pegs, man. Like it would.
You bail on them.
Yeah, no, we were gone.
Dang.
We were like, well, Danny's in trouble. So Danny wasn't able to ride bike with us anymore after that day. He had to pay for a plate glass window in front of a dojo. So
It was the Takagura Dojo. Beverly Hills Ninja. Oh. Chris Farley was the Great White Ninja of the Takagura Dojo.
I love that movie. He died too soon.
Yeah.
He died too soon.
Yeah.
So, all right. Anybody wants to share?
Oh.
I used to get into playing with fire a lot.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
good theme. Good theme. I got
Going down a good road.
So we used to like the gas station, the mobile or whatever by Shopko. We used to go in there all like me and my friend Sam that lived down the street, and I was like, "Ooh, lighters! Yeah, let's buy a bunch of lighters." So that was always fun. And like my mom would always get pissed. She's like, "Why are you buying all these lighters? Are you smoking? What are you doing?" And I was like, "No, we're just we like lighters." And so
Lighters.
I can relate.
yeah, and so we used to take hairspray and just like light the lighters and like
Yeah.
make fireballs and everything. And I almost lit my bed on fire. We like got out of control, and I was like just spraying it. Like I just wanted to see how big the flame could get, like or like the big. And my mom like smelled my bedroom, and she's like, "What is going on in here?" And she's like, "What? That's the most weird thing." I was like, "We're not doing anything," and like I must have singed like half the hair off my arm from like playing with fire. And then in college, we used to play this game called Fireball, where you take a
Sounds like a good game.
where you take a tennis ball, you douse it in lighter fluid, and you like play catch and like try to throw it as fast as you can at each other.
Yes. I had never played this.
I've never even heard of this.
Yeah.
So you're just throwing a fireball.
You're just throwing a tennis ball on fire at each other. You're trying to catch it. Like, we didn't have gloves or anything. You like, just had to like try to like catch it, like, or like, you know, slap it back.
Hot potato, like real hot
Like,
potato.
real hot potato.
Kids, don't try
Real
this.
consequence.
Oh,
Real consequences.
we might need a like
Explicit.
something on this one. Yeah. God.
Oh,
I forgot how we
man.
played it, but it definitely was like you light the ball on fire and like fling it at each other.
So smart. I love it. Oh, it's so good.
Do you remember you used to fill your hand with gas and then light it on fire?
Oh yeah, like yeah.
The lighter gas, like butane.
Right, like you
Yeah,
just
they
like
just
hold
let
it
it
down a
collect
little
it
bit,
in
and then
there,
all of a
yeah.
sudden, yeah.
Or did you ever do it with your mouth?
My buddy did, and I got a little scared of it.
Okay.
Yeah,
You used to
he
do
didn't do. It wasn't that. He put something else in his mouth. Like he
Like he was
would,
trying to like
He would sip
throw-
up some like
Oh,
some
I would
lighter
never do
fluid
that.
Yeah.
or bug spray or something, and just do it
Oh,
right out of his mouth. I never wanted a piece
I've
of
seen
that.
a guy's face like light
yeah,
up with that.
The
yeah.
flame trails right
Yeah.
into the
Right.
mouth. Yeah,
Yeah, if you don't know how to do it, like
No.
you got to be skilled.
the butane's no big deal because it's gone.
Yep.
Like, but
The fire theme, man. Like, oh, it's just, and 4th of July just came and went. So,
Uh-huh,
happy 4th to everyone. and all
happy
that. But-
4th, yeah.
But when I was a teenager, me and my buddy, we got a bunch of bottle rockets, and this one friend, kids, I don't know, friend was kind of like taking us off, and I don't know, I can't remember why we were like all mad at this guy, but we knew where he lived, and we knew this like back road, and we could go through the woods to like sneak up on his house and have our car parked on a street that they don't even live on. So
as your getaway,
we went, so we came through like the back way through the woods, and then it was in summer, and he had his bedroom window open, and we're like, that's exactly what we wanted. We were there with just this backpack full of bottle rockets. So we sat in the woods, and we were trying to shoot the bottle rockets into his open window from the woods.
did you ever get it?
We never got one through. We were so close. I mean, we were just firing them, hitting the side of the house. And I think his mom saw it. It called police. And I remember we heard the sirens from a distance, and we're just like, oh no, that might be for us. And we like booking it through the woods. I mean, backpack full of bottles, like just packed with bottle rockets. As many as we shot, he had like a million more.
Oh man.
And then we got to the car. We thought we were like, oh, we planned this perfect. We got away scot-free. We're like taking these country roads back to his house. All of a sudden, just from like out of view behind us to like on our bumper in like 10 seconds, it felt like this cop car. The lights you could barely see the lights, and boom, they were on us. Pulled us over, and my buddy was driving, and it was all his fireworks and everything. I'm in the passenger seat. And I remember the cop was like, we got a call, and I saw where you guys ran. I saw you start your car. I saw the lights. I chased you down like you were shooting fireworks at this house. And it was dangerous and whatever. And then he's like looking at the flashlight in the car. He sees the backpack. He asks my buddy, he's like, so you got fireworks in that backpack? And my buddy just looks straight up. He's just like, no, sir. And the cops, he pulls on the door. He didn't have his car locked, so the cop just opened the door, grabbed the backpack, and opened it up. And it's just like a million bottle rockets. The cop's like, well, no fireworks in this bag? What is this? Just square face. He's just like, I don't know what those are. Oh,
Jeez.
yeah, the cop took him out. I think he even pulled a gun on him. He was mad.
Oh,
He
Wow.
told
And you're
me to
just sitting
just
there
he
like,
told me to
oh.
just stay out of it, and yeah, it was scary.
dang.
It was scary stuff, but yeah, my buddy had some balls because he's just flat out lying. Like,
Yeah.
okay, what are these? I don't know, sir.
Oh man.
Yeah, we got taken in the station in question, but nothing bad came out of it.
No.
We didn't start a fire, so
Yeah.
Until your dad got to you, and then
they weren't thrilled with it. I don't even remember if I told them the truth about that. Mom and Dad listen to this. I don't know. I'll tell them now. My dad will think it's funny now.
Statute of
When I was a
limitations.
kid, he would have been real mad, but I think he'd laugh now.
yeah. So, I think I've told you this story before, but I have a square scar right below my thumb, on the back side of my thumb. So like imagine holding a slingshot. And like where you would hold the slingshot and pull it back, there's a square hole that matches a Lego guy's foot. So
Yeah.
when we were younger, we found M80s, M100s, and M1000s.
Yeah.
Like all the like boom fireworks.
Right.
So I taped them. I think it was an M1000 to a Lego guy. and put it in the slingshot, and then had my buddy light it while I was holding the slingshot back, and I was gonna just shoot it straight up in the air, and boom, Lego man gone. So
This sounds like a perfect plan. I love
it's
it.
fantastic. It should have been.
I want to try this now.
So I let go of the Lego man and the M1000, and it sticks into my hand. The foot of the Lego guy lodges into my hand right below my thumb where that scar is.
Oh my god.
So that's the scar of a Lego foot. And I proceeded to wave my hand as frantically as I possibly could because this M1000 is just, this wick is just burning away.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
And it came out of my hand like pretty darn close. And I don't know if you know, but this part of your hand bleeds a lot.
Yeah.
There was blood all over the front of my, like, 'cause I was like swinging my hand like this. There was blood
Spraying it everywhere.
everywhere. And it came out of my hand and landed just in front of me and went off. I could barely hear for like a day. It was horrible. I was like 13, 12,
That's a
13.
good one. That's a good
Oh,
one.
yeah. But yeah, so that scar right there is the exact shape of a Lego guy's foot. Because that's what was stuck in my hand.
Oh.
God.
Yeah.
You're just shaking it, dude. You could have shaken your hand and it, like released at your face and then just blown up on your face for all you know. Because you're freaking out.
Yeah,
And shit.
yeah. Well,
Everything's chance after that.
Yeah. Well, the stories you hear, like my dad and like grown-ups would tell, like, I knew a kid that lost fingers from these things.
Yeah.
Be careful with them. You know, those type of things that he would tell me. And I'm just thinking, like, I just lost a finger. Like, my thumb's going to be gone. Like, that's all I could think of. And so I'm just shaking it, trying to make sure it's away from my thumb. And luckily it landed on the ground. But you're right, though. I mean, it could have went anywhere
Who
from
knows
there.
where?
Because
Yeah.
I was
Once you freaking out, you don't know what's.
because you know how little, like when you freak out when you're a little kid, it's not just shaking your hand, like you're jumping up and down, you
Yeah.
know, just trying to get it off and figure out what to do. I'm probably running in one direction while swinging my arm in the other one, like
It just flies in your mouth. And then
as I'm screaming. But yeah, so that was my fireworks story.
oh man.
And then I was 16. It was the very first fireworks I ever went to with my girlfriend, like by myself, didn't take family or anything. And we met at my best friend's house, Ralph. We're at Ralph's, and he has, in Florida, they had no issues with tubes, like the big mortars and stuff. So he was dropping, like, his cousin or uncle, Skip, was dropping these tubes, and we were just shooting them off, boom, 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 and they were going up, and it was really fun. And it was just like maybe 10 feet away from his front door. And I think it's funny because of what he said. I don't know if the issue is funny, but he dropped one in and you heard it go, "Poof," but nothing came out.
Oh.
And all I heard was Skip go, "That's not good." And then sparks. It blew up like the mortar and everything. And it was like, and I remember because it was me and my girlfriend kind of standing next to each other. And I went to step in front of my girlfriend, and the Skip goes, "That's not good," and grabs my girlfriend and puts it in front of him to shield himself.
Oh.
He grabs my girlfriend and pushes him in front of her, or pushes her in front
Her.
of him.
Okay. Now I get it. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my goodness, like
Human shield.
yeah, exactly. And then my buddy Ralph's like, "Seriously, Skip, you use her as a shield?" Yeah, it was funny. So, anyways, those are the two that I have. I don't know if I have much more I want to release.
Yeah.
Just take the girl as the human shield.
Should use her as her
That was
human
not-
shield.
That's not good.
Yeah. But I love the
Very
word.
chivalrous.
Yeah, I love that. You hear it go, and you're like, "Oh, that's not good." And then all of a sudden, my girlfriend disappears from next to me. And he's using her as a shield.
Oh man.
So sorry, Beth. That was pretty funny, Skip, but not cool. So there you go. All right. Anything else? Any more?
I don't think I have anything else.
Yeah, I think
All right. You're spent for the night.
I'm content.
All right. DoorDisc.com. Door_disc_golf. Night_owl_pod. JP, OnlyFans?
Not yet.
Oh, man. He'll give it up one of these days. Don't worry. All right. Keep it subpar. Peace.
Bye.